Good morning, Card Beauties. RJ back with another video. So let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day: 1989 Upper Deck Mike Schmidt team card, the Phillies team card. If you remember, great artist Vernon Wells, who had a son who eventually played Major League Baseball, Vernon Wells Jr., was the artist for Upper Deck, since Dick Perez was kind of tied up at Donruss. Upper Deck went with Vernon Wells, who I think had some of the best looking art cards of the early part of Upper Deck. The early team cards were always artist rendering of famous players or prominent players of the day on those teams. Here is the Phillies team card from 1989 Upper Deck. Obviously, if you're going to create a card set for your first card set in 1989 and you had to choose a Philly, you would have chosen Mike Schmidt to be on the cover. My random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Today's random baseball item of the day. 1987 Donruss All-Stars card of Lou Whitaker. Lou's one of those guys a lot of people, myself included, believe should be a Hall of Famer. One of the greatest stats I ever heard. People who care about sabermetrics or don't care about sabermetrics, you know a great player when you know a great player. Always love to point out that Lou Whitaker has a higher WAR than Reggie Jackson. And it's true, if you can look it up. So, but no, Lou Whitaker, one of those guys who really ought to be in the Hall of Fame. My random baseball item of the day. Today's trivia question. The Yankees are obviously the most celebrated team in all of sport. 27 World Championships, 40 World Series appearances. But even though they have won a lot, they do not have one postseason record. Since division play began in 1969, the Yankees are third with the most division championships. What two teams in baseball, what two franchises have more division titles than the Yankees? That was a question. What you're playing for, as always, 3 awesome Hall of Fame cards. A little different today because I'm just giving away 3 great cards. I had a chance to pick up some legendary cards recently. These are ones I'm going to pass on to you guys. A 79 Fergie Jenkins, 85 Ripken, 83 Palmer. Just point of full disclosure, the Palmer's got a bit of a crease in it, but still looks good from the front. 3 awesome Hall of Fame cards. That's what you're playing for. If you're interested in getting a chance to win those cards, just shoot me an email with a guess on that question. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. So, today's showcase. I am a guy who loves reprint cards. I very much enjoy cards of reprints because it's sets I'm never going to get the real one. This card typically sits on my shelf back there, but I pulled it down to show off. This is one of the best reprint cards of the Honus Wagner T206 card. Came out in 1995 by a company called IMT. Really, really good looking card. I had this one slabbed. I was hoping to get a 10, but I got a 9. It's a very good looking Wagner reprint of the T206. And some of these actually, if you get a 10 on them, some of these reprints, and there's a lot of these graded. I think people like me just want to have a Wagner on their shelf, even if it's not real. But some of these can go for like 50 or 60 bucks if they're in a perfect 10. Put it back up there. But again, I love my reprint sets. I have several reprint sets of some of the greatest sets of all time. Several. And one of the things I had a chance to pick up recently, when I saw this come up on Facebook Marketplace, it intrigued me, and I actually looked on thetradingcarddatabase.com, and it is a recognized set of cards, essentially, although technically, in a way, it's not a set. It is from 1977, the Dover Publications classic baseball cards publication. So I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to move the cards, set that back so you can see it. We'll go through it. In essence, you can see here, 98 collector cards authentically reproduced in full color, perforated for easy detaching. Guy named Burt Sugar, created this booklet of great cards. You can see some of the cards that are included in here. You can imagine some of the ones that are going to go. We'll look at some of the ones you got. So here we go. All of the Goodwin champions. I'm sorry, not the Goodwin champions. These are the Allen Ginters. Okay. I was surprised they didn't have the Goodwin champions. The Anson, the King Kelly, they're here. Anson's right there. Kelly was, where was King Kelly? I thought he was here. Kelly's right next to him. So they made it in on that one, but I think the better looking was the Goodwin champions, but that's not in this set. It's in booklet. And they have the DeLongs over here, but there isn't a Lou Gehrig DeLong in this set, inside this booklet. So that was a little disheartening. But that's the first page. And then again, you open it up. They're all perforated. So you do have a number of famous T206s. You saw the, I think it was the Wagner, and what was on the front cover? Wagner and Rube Marquard were on the front cover. There's the Wagner, of course, and the Plank. Some of the more interesting cards. I'm surprised they didn't have a Cobb in here, but they did have the Cobb in the tri-folders, the Mecca triple folders. There's the legendary Cobb triple folder. Great reprints. And again, if you're a guy like me who is never going to get all these awesome cards, having these is pretty cool. Here is, obviously, your Crackerjack Joe Jackson. Legendary card. Napoleon Lajoie, Robert Moranville, Hal Chase, Joe Tinker. Again, you're DeLong, but this is with Chuck Klein. They got Connie Mack, Heine Groh, Three Finger Brown, Eddie Sicott. Great arrangement. And then, of course, you're going to get yourself a Gowdy Britt Ruth and a Gowdy Gehrig, so that the Gehrig was in the Gowdy, not in the DeLong. So really awesome cards of reprints. Again, I'm a fan of reprints. You guys may not be, but I am a fan. I believe these were the Nashville Chickle, but I'm probably wrong on that. Here's your 41 play ball color. Kind of wanted to see. I don't think you have a Ted Williams or the DiMaggio on this one. Maybe it's on a different page, but I don't think so. Nope. But they do have the Joe Jackson heads up. Now, the heads up that they've provided, I'm a little miffed about this. I'm very much a fan of the ones with the cartoons. And if you're going to do a freaking reprint, why wouldn't you do the good one with the cartoons and save these ridiculous not cartoon ones? I don't know. But, talks about all the different players. Here's a list of all the players included in what I just showed you. Here you go. Tells you what they are. Crackerjack, Allen Ginter, Tattoo Orbit. That's probably the other one I couldn't identify. Gowdy, the DeLongs, Play Balls from 41. American Tobacco Trust, so that's the T206s, and the T202 triple folders. So, yeah, so the one I didn't know was the Tattoo Orbit baseball. Need to brush up on my baseball lore. But again, it's a really cool thing. I think this cost me all of $10. And I'm thinking about getting another one just so I can punch out some of the classic cards that I know I'm never going to have. It might be fun to send in the Ruth and get the Ruth slabbed up. It might be fun to send in the Joe Jackson and get the Joe Jackson slabbed up. These legendary cards that are so cool and you know you're never going to have, but to get them slabbed and put on your shelf would be neat. I already have all of these cards in a reprint set by themselves. I don't know, maybe I'll get just singles of the ones I want rather than buying another book. But again, I'm happy to have it. I love reprints. This is right up my alley. Happy to have it in my collection. I don't think anybody else is going to go running out and purchasing one like I did. But, you know, hey, we all collect in the way that is best suited for us. Chris from Missouri, hey, it's just a hobby, collect what you love. And Ray from Philly, shout out to Ray. You'll have fun with it and all that. That's the whole point of what we're doing here, is collect in the way in which you enjoy, and that's what I'm doing. Looking forward to seeing everybody at the YouTube gathering tomorrow. I will have a ton of stuff to hand out, to trade, to just interact with people. I can't wait. Can't wait for that. Very much looking forward to it. Hope to see you there. If you have a chance, come up and say hi to me, because I know I'll be going up to everybody I see and saying hi to them, all right? Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your week. I hope to see you on Sunday, all right? Take care.